Your computer is a big investment and you want to make sure it's around for a long time. Hi, my name is Charles Stewart Jr. and I'm going to teach you how to keep your computer clean. One of the things with your computer that you want to make sure is you definitely keep it clean, because if not, dust will accumulate inside of it and it'll start to cake everything and basically cause everything to overheat that generates a lot of heat. So by doing that, you want to usually keep it either up, maybe on your desk, instead of on the floor, because obviously a lot of people will keep it on their floor, especially it's real bad on a carpet, because all that dust will generate down there, and as it sucks in the air, it's going to suck up all that dust that's landed on the floor and basically speed up the process of layering dust all over your computer. But pretty much even if you have it on your desk, you're going to accumulate dust. It's just, you know, one of the things that happens over time. So how you're going to want to do that is you're going to want to open up the case of your computer. Most computers, you know, if you bought one from like Dell or, you know, HP, you know, sometimes they'll have a latch you just push and it'll open up. But this is a computer I built, so it's, you know, just a generic case. There's usually screws. For the sake of demonstration, I've already removed them. So you just slide the case off, and you can see the internals of the computer itself. Here is your processor. In order to clean it out, you're going to want to get a can of compressed air, or sometimes even an anti-static wipe. And the reason for that is static is your computer's enemy. You want to make sure whenever you're doing stuff where you're touching components inside the computer itself, you want to make sure you're grounded to the case. And by doing that is, you know, either touching it as you're cleaning it, or wearing a strap that attaches you to the case, because one little spark of static electricity onto one of the components will totally destroy your whatever piece of equipment you're touching. So, you know, the processor is definitely, you know, it's like the brain of the computer, so it's going to, you know, it's the supercalculator. It's going to generate the most heat. And usually you can find it'll have like a what they call a heat sink on top of it, or a big fan sitting on some aluminum. And it'll basically, that fan is blowing on those on the processor to cool it down, so that'll definitely generate a lot of heat. So you'll just want to give it a couple air bursts, and you can see it's throwing dust out. And then another place to generate some heat is your RAM modules. You'll find usually right next to the processor, and you'll want to give those a little burst of air too, and that, because again, dust acts like a blanket. You know, it'll keep coating and coating, and instead of letting the heat dissipate the way it normally does, and the way it's been designed to do, it retains that heat, and eventually it'll cause your components to fail quicker. You know, because eventually they're all going to die. It just, you want to prevent that from happening. You know, make them last as long as you can, and pretty much. The other component is your graphics card. Your graphics card nowadays, they're pretty strong, and they usually have some kind of fan built onto them, so they're going to be sucking in air as well, and, you know, pretty much coating dust. So you want to give that a burst, and, you know, make sure there's no dust building up on that. And also your hard drive, which is usually located on the side, or this right down here. I'm sorry, is right here. They'll generate that'll accumulate a lot of dust too, and then your hard drive's constantly spinning, so it'll generate a lot of heat, so you want to knock that out. And pretty much after you've, you know, blown your case out and made sure it got all the dust out that you can, that's pretty much one of the best things you can do to keep your case clean. And again, keep it up on a desk, or, you know, keep it off the ground, and you know, try to blow it out at least every 3 months, 6 months at the most. And if you haven't done it, you'll probably be surprised when you open up your case. It'll just be gray and caked with dust. So that's the best thing you do to keep your computer clean.